what the highest searches are that you can get out of the person or the thing, and the highest cost per click, and that's what's going to determine it. And when I did that, only one of these showed up, Emergency Dentist Phoenix. And then the second thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there's exact match domains, and I already know that there are for emergency dentist. But emergency root canal, there's not enough searches. I'm just not seeing any searches for it. Root canal dentist, there are searches for it. And even though there's less than emergency dentist, a root canal is going to be $1,500 to $3,000 job. Plus, that's just that one tooth. And if you let your mouth go that far, then the dentist is going to get more work. So that's a very valuable lead. Alrighty. Okay. So good questions so far. Awesome questions. Can adding additional plugins like the pop-up to page, one plugin, enhance your site's ranking, or will it just be redundant and not recommended? That particular product by Derek Pierce, that's just more of an efficient tool. It will help you set up more, or it'll help you set up your plugins in your sightings on your site faster. So it's more of an efficiency tool rather than a ranking tool. The articles you recommend we post for relevancy. Okay, so the posts below our silos. How often should we post those? Every 5 to 7 days, and for most niches you just need to do about 6 to 10 articles and you're done. You'll never have to do it again. And do we need to post them on all the same niche sites at the same time? So yeah, if I understand the question correctly, you want to make sure that on every site that you build, when we build them out, we have all the content kind of pre-made, or we're making it it's being made at the same time as we're buying the domains, and then we're just literally copying and pasting our homepage, and then we're adding into the back end. And I go over that in detail in the course. The posts, we've got an anchor text, and then we'll just post date it. Even though we loaded them all up at once, we'll have one now, another one pop up in 5 to 7 days, and so on and so forth. And that's the way we do it. It works really well, rather than just all showing up at once. And the reason behind that is so that Google knows that, hey, you're adding regular relevant content on a regular basis, rather than just boom, here's my site, no more activity. Okay. Can you provide an outsource information in order to achieve speed to marketplace? I don't. I don't have, like, if you're asking somebody, do I know somebody who, or an outsourcing that can actually go out and do this kind of stuff? No, but what you can do is, and I think it's one of the best things you can do if you're in a position to do it, is just hire one virtual assistant to work if you can, full-time for you. And you're going to pay around $100 to $200 a week. Okay, so that's kind of the range. And I would hire somebody who is understands their way around WordPress. They don't necessarily need to design sites, but if they had to change headers for you, add footers, all that kind of stuff, they just really know their way around WordPress really well. That would be good. And if they could write halfway decent on top of that, that would be a huge plus. At that point, they've got all the skill sets that they need. Everything else you can train them for to do the tasks that you need to do. They don't necessarily need to know how to clone a site, because we've already got the training videos in there. So you can just share those with them. So there's this, hey, this is part of your training. But I would, rather than just handing over our training videos that are meant for you and members, what's a bagillion times more beneficial for you, and it may seem like a more work right now, but that's just short-sighted. In the long run, it will help you so much more. is do the work yourself first, one time, or at least one or two or three or four times around. And then as you're doing it, start thinking to yourself, okay, how can I train someone else to do this? And then if you've got Mac, you can just use ScreenFlow and you can record what you're doing, and those are your training videos. And you've made them, you've customized them, you've started to create the system, you've started to McDonaldize it. Don't get into this habit where it's just wrong thinking. I'm going to find someone to do the work for me and just hand it over to them and it's done. VAs don't work that way, man, and you can't build a business that way. I've tried it; it doesn't work. You've got to create the training material yourself. That's what I've done. I've created training material for myself for my VAs. You can use Screener. It's just SCREENER. Screener.com is totally free, and for up to 5 minutes, and that's more than enough. You can record and talk whatever you're doing on your screen, and save it on a WordPress blog. You can just password protect it, just keep it real basic. That's how I started out. And you're just, whatever task you're doing, you are making a video, a training video for it, in the hopes of passing it on to someone else, these repetitious tasks of building the sites, where to put the links and stuff like this. And you're going to have to work to train people, and you're going to have to work to monitor them. They're not just going to, it's not like this. And I've been there before, and I've made this mistake like over and over again. It was like hitting me over the head like a 2x4, and I couldn't understand what was wrong. I was blaming the VAs instead of myself. You have to create the right environment for them. Good training, clear objection about what they need to do, and as long as they know what they want to do, it lowers the stress down, and you can create challenges for them to produce the work higher, and maybe some bonuses and stuff like that, and then you create a fun environment. But if you want a good for so look, there's a couple things like for the writing part of it. In the course, I show you in there. Things have changed a little bit, but the content is all relevant and still true. I show you how to get 100% free content on any topic. You could easily create a training video for a VA to do that, and then train them how to post it for your sites, or to have that say, okay, I'm going to be, we're going to be opening, we're going to be doing, we're going to expand out to 10 other cities in the same niche. And so I know that I need, let's say 5 posts, different ones for each one of these cities. You could go, okay, I need 25 original articles, as I taught you, to go out and find on the broad topic of something to do with motive and motive repair. Okay, it doesn't need to be exact. It just kind of needs to be in the same theme. Okay, and then I need to have those loaded up and ready in a text file, and then when the site's up, then you're going to load them up in these sites, and you're only going to use them one time. These are the kind of training videos that you do and you'd produce, and you're creating a system in place. That's one way. And that's not the only way. The other way is that you could just go, okay, I need you to go out and find 5 original articles. And again, in the course, I show you how to find 100% original material that passes Copyscape on any topic you want. It's endless. When you do find it, you do need to do 1 or 2 read-throughs just to create some of the grammar in it and just kind of clean it up a bit. That just takes like 2 minutes, which is a lot less time than having to write the whole damn thing from the beginning. And you could say, okay, I'm going to do 5 articles or 5 posts in this particular niche, and we're going to expand out to 20 others. So what I need is 20 other light spun ones using Spin Rewriter, and that's in the resource section. It's a really good Spin Rewriter. It's better than the best spinner because it actually spins readable articles. The best spinner doesn't. Okay, the best spinner will spin it, and then you got to go back and basically fix everything up. So, what is the minimal traffic or dollar revenue you would find acceptable before you trash the site and find another niche to replace it. Bottom line is if you've got a site that is getting searches and is ranking on page 1, and you're looking at the Google Analytics and it's getting people to stop by, and you're getting some calls there, that's not trashable. I would never trash that. Hopefully you've done good research on the niche, and you didn't like pick a niche or particular keywords that really don't have any searches in them. Then you're going to need to trash that. But other than that, there's no reason to trash a site that's as long as it's getting traffic. Doesn't need to be a lot. As long as it's getting calls, it doesn't need to be a lot. That's not trashable. That's keepable, and that's something that you need to think of as like, people think of rate of returns on money. They go, okay, I want to get, 10% rate of return on my money. Okay, great. Guess what? That ain't jack shit. Seriously. You got $100,000. I'm going to get $10,000 rate of return. I'm going to get taxed on that. So at the end of the day, I'm going to get $6,000, which is $500 a month. It's just freaking peanuts. You'd be much better off taking that $100,000 and investing it in yourself. And you'd make $1 million, and that's a whole nother discussion. But you're looking at these properties as ROIs and return, and I guarantee you, I don't know how slow you think your site is, or how little the calls you think there are that are coming in. Once you've got it set up and it's there, and if it's that low, then you've just ranked like with minimal effort. It's worth something to somebody. And if you look at, the time and effort you put into it and the dollars over the next 12 months for the rate of return, even if it's a minimal amount of calls, I can guarantee you it's not going to be 10%. It's going to be like 500 or 1,000% rate of return, which you cannot get on the stock market, nothing else in the world. And so it's a huge, huge asset. So anyways, I'm probably going off on a tangent there, but that's kind of the framework that you need to kind of look at these things too. So let's see here. Maybe I missed this in the course, which is okay. We honestly need to kind of keep the material there, reorganize it, and update some things to make it easier and accessible. But when you start selling leads, do we launch the site, let it get some traffic, and then look for a buyer, or do we research the best prospects first, forward the calls to them, and then follow up later and ask them if they want to continue to be charged? The best method we found, and there are different, but is use the call whisper system. And as you're building a niche out, you've done your research. It's got some decent call volume. It's the total revenue that your potential client would get from leads that you would bring in, like a hairdresser, $20 to $40 or $60 per perm. So let's say $25 on average per haircut, which versus a drywaller, which might make $1,000 per job.